Good morning, everybody. This is Ron with our DIY Homestead, and today we are going to be doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but mostly in the garden. This is last week of August. We still got things growing out here, so I'm going to go through, be trimming back some tomato plants. Maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't. I'm going to give it a whirl. I know we got some tomatoes out there that we can still pick. And then down on the other end of the garden, we've got some peppers growing. And I had everything weeded, and then it got away from me. Now it's all weeded up again, so we're going to be going through there picking peppers and weeding at the same time too. So we'll set up and we'll get going. Alright, I've got all the peppers done. I've got everything weeded. You can see all the weeds laid around. Take me about an hour and a half to get through this. But we got 5 rows of peppers. I've harvested everything. We got 2 big baskets of peppers. So now my chore next is to go back and do the tomatoes. We're going to clip them back and see if anything will come back. But I've got about 120 tomato plants in the ground and still got some tomatoes on them, so we're going to try to keep them going and do our best, let them produce as much as they want to. So let's get back there and get busy. All right, we're back here with the tomatoes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the weed eater through here and get down as much as I can. Get up close to the plants, and then I'll hand weed around the plants. And as I hand weed, I'm going to trim them down so we can have all the energy going to the lower part of the plant. Maybe get some more tomatoes out of them this year. So let's get busy. Okay, I did the weed whacking. I didn't particularly want to film it just because you wouldn't be able to hear me or anything, so we'll go ahead and do this way. So I got all the weeds down. Now I'm going to sit down and go through each plant. If it's still viable, I'm going to trim it back and pull the weeds and just go right on down the line. I'll show you the first few and then we'll go from there. All right, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull some weeds to get them out of the way. Something like that. And on this particular plant, I don't have anything down below that's really alive. Everything else looks pretty dead. I got a little bit of green here, but this is not justifying me keeping this plant, so I might as well take it out now. So I'm going to go ahead and take my clips off. We'll hang them up here. I'll come back by later and pick them all up so I can reuse them next year. So we're just going to go ahead and take this plant out. Now I'll throw that in the compost pile without getting grass in my mouth. We'll come down to this next one. You can see that I do have some green down here. So I'm going to trim this one back. Get some weeds out of the way. And we got some green coming up in the back here. We got some green coming up here. Get these nasty weeds and grass out of the way so we can see what we're doing. And what we want to do is trim everything away that's not going to be used, so, or it doesn't have anything green on it. So we got one down there, one down there. We're going to clip that off there, and from this point up there's nothing. There's a little bit of green on the top, but like I said, it's not really justifiable to keep the whole plant because it's going to waste too much energy. So I'm going to clip it down here like that. Get rid of that. We do have some green down there, so I'm going to clip it right about there. And now we got a nice short plant. I'm going to take this, pull it back, and I'll go ahead and clip this up. Something like that. So now we'll see if we get any more tomatoes off of this one. I'm going to do that all the way down the line and to every plant, so I'll show you when I'm done. All right, now we are going to start harvesting basil. We've got some basil here, and we've got some basil around by our hydroponic tunnel. We're going to get over there and get that as well. I think we've got some in our green stalk as well. So let's start picking, and we'll see where we go and how much we get. All right, we are picking our basil. We got some nice limbs. I'm going to go down, take off about that much. I'm going to catch it before it flowers because we don't want it to go to seed. And I'm going to leave like a little bush down towards the bottom just so it can regrow. And these are really hardy plants, so they can take some of the heat. Get over here, get this one, do the same thing. We'll leave this on here so it can regrow, and I've trimmed these back at least a dozen times so far over the summer. So let's get over to the next plants. This is how much we got off of just these two. We've probably got another half a dozen or more over on the other side. So let's get over there and get at it. All right, we're over by the hydroponic tunnel, and we've got quite a few basil. I guess we got 4 plants in this bucket, and then we got another plant down there, and then we've got, I don't know if you can see it from here, I've got 3 or 4 on the other side. So let's get them picked so they can start regrowing. And as you can see, I need to pull everything out and weed, of course, but our cucumbers are just about done for the year, so I'm going to be pulling them. We've got more tomatoes we want to put in. We'll get this all weeded up, get it looking good again. Oh, I got to show you these too. These are our hibiscus. We just got these this year, and look at those blooms. They are beautiful. Sean makes a really good hibiscus tea, a couple different flavors. So we're going to be using those in that tea. All right, back to the business. Let's get some basil picked. Again, we're just going to take some of the bigger leaves
Leave the rest so it can keep growing. On to the next. This is our last one. Just like a mighty full basket of basil. My hand out of the way. She's gonna have fun. She dries them all up, cleans them, and puts them in her tea. Let's see, how many plants do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 so far. I think I've got a couple in the green stock we're going to go get right now. Alright, looked at the green stock, there's nothing there really to pick, so we're going to leave it. Let it go till next time. But this is our harvest of basil, and we'll get on to the next project. Alright everybody, finally got some of the tomatoes done. I had to break off, and as you saw, I did some picking of some basil, but I thought I'd show you how the row's cleaned up. We got all the dead plants pulled up. We got some other plants, other tomatoes that are still growing and still putting blossoms on. So we're going to leave them and let them go and see how they do. And as you can see here, we've got a couple of tomatoes that are just about ready to come out. And this is the 1st of September now. So tomatoes in September, still good. Still got blossoms, but I did quite a few of the tomatoes clean up, and we even had some marigolds that I was able to save. And I deadheaded all those, and those are starting to come back. But you can see, still got tomatoes coming out. And we did all the peppers, so we are pretty much cleaned up. I still have, I think, 4 more rows of tomatoes to do, but I will do those at a later time. And we are just about ready to start pulling these posts out, getting things tilled up, and ready for next year. So this is where we're going to end the video, and we will see you in the next one.